Hey everyone, I wanted to come do a quick video today because I seem to be having a lot of the same conversations with a lot of my different clients today around the holidays, Thanksgiving being tomorrow, and understandably, there's a lot of stress that seems like it goes with holidays, right? Because of different expectations that we or others might have. And understandably too, like we want to be able to go enjoy that time and not have it be stressful. And so I decided, kind of spur of the moment, of like, I'm just going to do a quick little video um, and show you guys a technique that some of you might be familiar with, some of you might not be. It's a technique called tapping or EFT tapping. It's something that I use myself. I do it with some of my clients. It's a way for us to help acknowledge what we're experiencing and then also how to help our mind and our bodies kind of let go of stress. So I figured I would just come on and like do some tapping, do some demonstration that you can tap along with. Um, I'm kind of rolling off, like letting things kind of like roll off the cuff here, and I do have some ideas of what I want to cover, but I'm also like, it's okay that we're just going to go with this. Um, I find that when it comes to holidays, there's generally like three things that stress us out the most. One is expectations. We have expectations of how we think things should go. I think things should be done at this time. I think these people should be here. I think this is the food we should have. This is, depending on the holiday, the way in which we should open up gifts. Like, whatever the thing is, expectations can cause us stress when things don't unfold exactly the way that we think that they should. So that causes us stress. The other thing with holidays is being aware of people that we would like to be with, but for various reasons, we're not with them on that holiday. Whether that's because we live far away, whether that's because there's disconnection, whether there's illness, or sometimes if the people that we would like to be with for the holidays are no longer in the physical with us, right? So our heart is supposed to be grateful and appreciative on a certain day, but it also feels some sadness or resentment or anger, right? So that's big stressor number two. And then big stressor number three is the family or friends or whatever that we do get to be with often trigger us, right? There's dynamics that happen that don't always feel good to us, that don't align with our values and what we want for ourselves. And in that way, holidays can become super stressful too. And so, if I was working with somebody one on one, what I would do is, we would hone in on like what the particular stress is and kind of hit it head on that way. This is a little bit different because I'm not working with somebody one on one. I'm kind of doing this as a general um, teaching moment for lots of people. And so it's going to look a little bit different because I'm going to try to cover each of those three stress areas that I was just talking about. So um, I'm okay with it being a little bit different than what it normally would be. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Um, I'm going to do a little explanation of what tapping is really quick first. So tapping is a technique that not you don't have to be a therapist to use. Lots of people use it. It's similar to acupuncture or acupressure, where we're just tapping lightly on our own body on certain spots that are associated with, like, they basically send a signal to the brain saying like it's okay to relax right now. So there's certain spots we tap on. um, we don't have to tap hard. we can't really do it wrong. I always say, like, we're not casting a magic spell. We're not going to do it in the wrong order and something's going to go kablooey. So you're going to follow along with me so that way you have an idea, but please don't worry about like doing it wrong. With tapping as well. So we're tapping on these spots while we are first talking about our truth. Here's what I'm really thinking and feeling right now, even if it's painful or it's ugly or whatever. We're being honest with ourselves about this is what I'm really thinking and feeling. This is a key point, and it's one of the things that came up with somebody today. When we intentionally allow space for these different thoughts and these different feelings to be present, we are acknowledging them, right? Here's why that's important. They are a part of who we are in this moment. And if we jumped to the part of tapping where we're trying to talk about how we want to feel and trying to be happy and cheerful and whatever, if we only did that part, what we would inadvertently be doing is often the same thing that many people encountered in their childhoods, which is unfortunately growing up with parents that didn't know how to support emotions. And so our emotions often got shushed or ignored or told to stop and stop being like that, stop crying, stop being angry, whatever. That is not awesome for us and our self-esteem. It's not awesome for us in terms of understanding ourselves. We are meant to have emotions. So the first part of EFT is we're acknowledging those, we're letting them be here and letting them be seen, in part because that's the stuff we want to release, so we kind of have to bring it to the surface, but also because when we show up for these emotions, our sad parts, our angry parts, whatever, our fearful parts, we're also honoring ourselves. We're honoring, I'm allowed to have feelings, right? So first part is telling our truth and letting that, whatever comes up, come up. And then when we feel like we've gotten all of that covered, we move into the second part of tapping, which is where we start to say things like, and I want to start letting this go. I'm inviting more peace into my body. I'm inviting more peace into my mind, whatever. So that part is more, this is how I want to feel. Okay. So again, this is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be incorporating 3 big parts about stress during the holidays. My recommendation for you, if you're watching and wanting to play along here, is that you listen to what I'm saying, you watch what I'm doing and do what I'm doing. So you're going to kind of mimic me, but you're also allowed to change the wording that I'm using to make it fit you and your thoughts and your circumstances. So when I'm tapping with somebody one-on-one, I try to get really specific because this is not a one-on-one thing. I'm going to be kind of general, but you're going to fill in the blanks with what you are actually thinking and feeling. Hopefully this will make sense when we get going. So it's going to be general. I'm going to try to cover all 3 things, and then we're going to move into this is how I want to feel about going into the holiday tomorrow. Okay, are we ready to play along and be weird together? Cool, let's do that. All right, so with tapping, we often start, they call this the karate chop point, which I find amusing. So we just lightly tap. It doesn't matter which hand you want to use. We lightly just tap on one side of the hand. While we're here, we're going to say basically kind of the same sentence 3 times. Why, Lisa, are we saying it 3 times? I don't know, because that's how I learned how to do it, and we're just following along with what we learn, right? So this is our way, basically, when we're doing this startup sentence, is we're basically just kind of like announcing to ourselves, here's what we're about to work on and what we're going to try to accomplish. So we're just like proclaiming it, if you will. All right, So, tapping on the side of the hand, repeating after me in your mind. I often close my eyes. Sorry, you may close your eyes, but then you also kind of have to know where I'm tapping. So maybe if you watch this later on and you already know where to tap, you can close your eyes. But today you're maybe going to have your eyes open. I often close my eyes. Let me side point that. I close my eyes because that's how I can pay attention more to what's happening in my emotions and my body. That's why in the future I'll recommend that you do it, because we want to pay attention to whatever shows up and letting it be here. Okay, back to the side of the hand for real this time. And the startup sentence we're going to say is, even though I have all of the stress going on about the holiday, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Sometimes that sentence is hard for people to say if they do have difficulty accepting and loving themselves. So we might say, I accept this is how I feel right now. Okay, so again, playing with the words as it applies to you. So that was one time. We're going to do it a second time. Even though I have all of this stress in my body and in my mind that won't shut up, I accept my feelings and I'm open to releasing them. So I'm switching it a little bit, and that's okay. Third time, even though I have all this stress that's driving me crazy about this holiday that I don't even know if I want to do, the more animated we get, the better. I choose to love and accept myself now. Okay? So then we just take, again, it doesn't matter which hand you use, which you can use one hand, you can use both hands. The first point is going to be like at the tip of, kind of like where your eyebrow is going to meet the bridge of your nose. And you're just lightly tapping there. And we're going to start off a little bit general. We're going to get a little more specific. But again, I was kind of telling you, I'm going to be still kind of general. We're just going to lightly tap here and say, I have all of this stress. And then we move to the outside of the eye, not like your temple, but kind of where it's hard and bony right here. And we just lightly tap here. I have all this stress in my body. And then we move to underneath the eye, again, where it's hard and bony, and we're just lightly tapping here. I notice all of the stress that I'm carrying in my body, and I'll invite you to fill in the blanks. Here's where I notice it in my body. And then we move underneath our nose right here. I notice the stress in my body and it feels like this. Fill in the blanks. And then we go underneath our mouth and I notice the stress in my mind because it won't be quiet. It keeps playing things over and over and over again. And then we go to our collarbone area. With this one, I kind of use like my whole hand or sometimes like that, just because it's a bigger area and I just kind of want to make sure I get it. And again, it could be either side. I have all this stress in my mind and in my body. And then we go underneath the arm. So for women that choose to wear a bra, this is where your bra strap is. If you don't happen to wear one, figure out where that is. I have all this stress in my mind and my body. And then the last one is top of the head. All of this stress in my mind and my body. Okay, so that from eyebrow to top of the head, we would kind of look at as one round. We are certainly not done. We're going to keep going. I notice in my body, I have this emotion. It could be fear. If it is, notice that. It could be anger. If it is, notice that. It could be sadness. It could be all of those. It could be confusion, right? So we're just going to notice whatever we notice. And I'm noticing it in my body in this way. This is what it feels like. I'm noticing this feeling in my body, this emotion. And part of me wants to tell it to stop, right? That's the truth, right? When we have unpleasant emotions, part of us wants to tell it to stop. Part of me wants to tell it to stop, but I know that doesn't actually work. So I'm just going to practice letting this uncomfortable feeling be here. Here, I'm noticing this uncomfortable feeling in my body and in my emotions and in my mind. So I'm going to kind of keep going, moving through the tapping points. I would like, again, if it was one-on-one, to like really hone in. This is what it feels like. This is what it's telling me. This is what that emotion is trying to have me believe right now. I'm noticing this emotion and I allow it to be here now. So that's important. I allow it to be here. I don't have to push it away. I don't have to feel guilty for having this emotion, but if I do, I'm allowed to feel guilty right now. Guilt is an emotion. We're allowed to have it. I allow myself to feel this emotion, and I allow it to be in my body right now. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of hone in a little bit more on like the holiday specific stuff. This is the expectation that I have, that I'm freaking out that it's not going to work right. This is the expectation that I have. And I'm so worried that it's not going to work out right. This is what I think is going to interfere with that. If this thing that I'm expecting does get interfered with, this is what I think is going to happen. And this is what it will feel like if that happens. So again, you're kind of filling in the blanks here. I'm noticing these expectations and they don't feel good, but I don't know how to stop. Okay, so that was point number one. I'm going to kind of come into point number two. I'm thinking about people that I don't get to be with for this holiday. This is who I wish I could be with that I can't be with. This is the reason why I can't be with them. And this is the emotions that come with me not being able to be with them. So again, it might be sadness, it might be anger, it might be resentment. I'm noticing these emotions and I'm allowed to have them. This person or these people have a significance in my life. Of course I would want to be with them. It's really hard for me that I can't be. And I don't know what to do about it because I can't change it. Okay, so that was point number two. Point number three. Whew, I gotta go be with this person. And I gotta be with this person. And boy, do they trigger me. This person or these people make me feel like this. And they make me want to do this. And I don't really want to feel that thing, and I don't really want to do that thing that doesn't really align with the person I want to be. I'm noticing those feelings. I can feel them in my body when I think about it. And it feels like this in my body. But I don't know how to make that go away either. Because chances are this person or these people, there's probably a long history of things like this happening. And that makes me feel a little powerless because I don't know how to stop it. I don't want this person to have this kind of power over me. But man, they just know how to pull me right back in. I notice those emotions in me and I accept that they're here. So now I'm going to kind of speak again a little bit more to that stuff and then transition us into the how do I want to feel. Okay. So I don't remember where I left off. I think feeling powerless. I don't want to keep doing these things, but I don't know how to not because they really know how to pull me in. So all of these things make me feel really stressed about the holidays. I'm acknowledging that I'm stressed and all of these different feelings that go with it. And unlike the messaging I received when I was a kid, I allow these feelings to be here. They don't need to shush. They don't need to be quiet. They don't need to go away. I'm allowed to feel these feelings. These feelings are a part of being human, and they're telling me things about myself that just need to be seen. I notice these different feelings, and I would like to not feel them so intensely. I would like to believe maybe I could let go of them, but I'm not really sure I believe that yet. But I know I would like to feel them less. What if it's possible for me to feel these feelings a little bit less? I'm open to letting go of some of the intensity of these feelings. I'm inviting my body to release its reaction to these feelings. I'm inviting my mind to just be a little bit more peaceful. Not really sure if it's going to work yet, but I'm just open to my body and my mind feeling more peaceful. Might happen now, might happen later. I'm just open to it. I would like my body to be more at ease. I would like my mind to be more peaceful. It's hard to imagine that when I'm in the holiday situation. But what if it could be? What if I could program myself that when I notice the thing that causes me stress, what if that is just my cue to choose more peace? What if the person that triggers me is my cue to tune in and accept myself more, no matter what that other person is doing? Because chances are I'm going to feel some stress. But what if the stress that I start to feel is just the cue to accept myself more and to invite more peace into my body? I like that idea. I can picture that thing happening right now in my mind and remember that it's only my cue to come back and accept myself more. Accept how I feel. Accept that I'm allowed to have my feelings and my own needs and desires. It doesn't mean I'm meant to act perfectly, but just accept myself more. And I'm inviting my body right now to have more relaxation and more peace, and my mind to be more peaceful, and my mind to be more relaxed, and to just be open to good possibilities that might also come on this holiday. Sometimes my stress makes me forget that there's good things that are bound to happen as well. I'm open to those. Inviting more peace in my mind and body. Choosing more peace and acceptance in my mind and body now. Okay. So take a deep breath and let it out. Hopefully, if you were playing along, you would have noticed something positive kind of shifting in your body. I will also say sometimes for me, that shift doesn't come until later on in the day, which is a whole other interesting thing that I could do a video on, but not right now. But just being open to it, shifting now or shifting later. I hope that this was helpful to you. I know again that this was kind of big and broad and a little bit general, trying to appeal to the masses, but hopefully still helpful. You are absolutely encouraged to, if you happen to watch this again, like fill in more blanks, expand what you're thinking and feeling, use swear words, anything that brings the intensity up like that to like within a like this like window of okayness. Cool, do that, because that helps it to release all the better. So play with it. You're not going to do it wrong. Hopefully this makes sense. Please feel free to like jump in and let me know how this was for you. Let me know if there might be a future video that you would like for me to do tapping or just bigger, broader topic on. I'm always open to knowing like what you guys are looking for more. I do wish all of you guys a happy, healthy, safe Thanksgiving. And if you're watching this in the future, whatever your holiday of choice is, please be kind and gentle to yourself, and please stay in touch. Let's see where this could take us, right? Peace out, guys.